Good afternoon, YouTube and the YTPC. It is the Odd Man Chronicles back for Chapter 2. So, today we're going to talk about the comments that were left on the last video when I asked about who's your favorite author. So far, we don't have a lot of people to talk to yet. We're working on it. But the only person that commented was Chris the Rambling Dilettante. Now, the authors that he chose were two authors that wrote some great sci-fi material. Actually, it's very near and dear to my heart. They wrote the StarCraft books, and they wrote the they wrote the Warcraft books. Sci-fi fantasy is one of my favorite genres to read because you never know. It's one of the most creative things that people can come up with. In fact, I read a book about it had to have been quite some time ago. I think I was living in Riverside at the time, back in Medicine Hat, and it was about a group of Marines that outfitted a submarine to travel through space. Weird, right? But again, beauty of sci-fi material. You can write about anything and everything. Now, today I want to talk about, what do I want to talk about today? I want to talk about life choices, I think. Life choices. I made a life choice recently. Moved 2 provinces away. And I don't know if I regret the decision. I really don't think I regret the decision. But it was definitely a big upchange in my life. I went from having complete support circle of friends, family, to moving 2 provinces away where I only have Chris, the Rambling Dilettante, my brother-in-law, my sister Steph, and well, the kids are great, but they don't count as a support system. Oh, I think I killed this pipe already. I started this video a little too late. Smoked through a whole pipe before I even got to a video. I'll have to load up another one, but we'll get to that later. So in the meantime, let's talk about this decision I made. Came out here for work. It was great. Again, I don't regret the decision. I really don't. But a lot of things happened. My health went downhill. My health went from, being mediocre to I'm on disability now. Can't work. And that's kind of life-changing if you think about it. Like, someone like me, I've worked hard since I was 9 years old, working for my dad. Oddly enough, as a janitor. My dad used to be a janitor back when I was growing up. I was working for a janitor company now. It's funny how life kind of comes full circle with that, isn't it? But it was a good decision, I think. I'm here in Winnipeg. Winnipeg is fantastic, big city, lots of different culture. It's like a cultural melting pot. Plus, it's the Slurpee capital of Canada. I mean, as a diabetic, I probably shouldn't be drinking Slurpees though, eh? Thank you, insulin, because shove some in your belly and, well, there you go, counteract the sugar. Not a great way to look at it, but hey, that's how we do it. So, anybody else have for I know you're normally going to ask this question at the end. I'll ask it again at the end of my video, but what was a big life decision you've made recently? Maybe, and it doesn't have to be in the last year, maybe the last 5 years, because big life decisions typically don't happen that fast. They kind of take a little bit of time. So I'll ask that question again at the end of the video, but for now, let's do a little uplift and let's tell a story. Now, this story, let's see. Again, this one's again safe for work jokes. I'll tell probably the little raunchier ones maybe on live streams. So this is safe for work. Now, my family, again, I love my family, I really do. But my family is the family that thinks farts are funny. And I don't just mean ha ha ha, no, I really mean, you can, if you, depending on how loud of a fart you make, my family may die of laughter. They also may die of methane exposure. My grandfather, I love that man. We call him, Chris and I call him Mr. Buttermilk because, again, it's a tradition in my family. All the men drink buttermilk. I know some people are gonna say gross buttermilk, but honestly, I can go to the store, buy a one liter, 2 liter carton of buttermilk, and sit there and drink it. Chris has witnessed me do it, and he doesn't understand. Buttermilk, it's for drinking, not just for pancakes. So, but my grandfather, after big meals, him and I would go for it. Like when it was just me and him, and my grandmother when they were babysitting me, we would have a big meal, and then we'd go walk around the local Safeway nearby, pick up something if we needed to. But my grandfather turned farting into a sport. Yes, that's right, folks. My family turns flatulence into a sport. He would go down an aisle, crop dust the aisle, as it were, and we'd kind of just hang out at the end of the aisle, waiting for little old ladies or families to walk through and see what kind of faces they would make. If you got someone to sniff it, 1 point. If you got someone's face to really go like 2 points. My grandfather is still the all-time grand champion. No one will ever beat him. It's really depressing because I've tried. Oh, but again, that's just how my family is. In fact, actually, speaking of my family and farting, I know this is a weird segue into that, but does anybody still play cards with their families nowadays? That used to be a big thing back, in the 90s, early 2000s. People actually got together with their families. Like my family, we got together on Sundays. You come over in the morning, have breakfast, hang out with the family. Kids, cousins, and everything would go play, and the adults would sit and play cards. And that's something that I really miss about in this day and age because everybody's just so addicted to their phones. I mean, for right now, in fact, I'm talking to you on my phone. It's so weird, and it feels like we've lost that sense of good, wholesome family. Because again, how many people just go to their family's houses once a week or even once a month just to sit around, have a meal, don't touch your phone, just interact with the people that are there. And again, that's something I think that we as a society need to start doing again, just interacting without the phones. I mean, phones are still great, don't get me wrong, but like, get together with your family, have a meal together, interact in person, face to face. Like, not FaceTime, face to face. Yeah, I think that's a great ideal, right? So, again, interact face to face. I know this hasn't been that long of a video. I'm still getting used to talking to you folks. Plus, I really want to get better interactions from the comment sections. So when we start our videos, that beginning section where we start talking about what I asked the day before, or the video before, as it were, will be longer and longer. It'll actually give me a chance to interact a little better with you folks. Get some hard information from you folks, or some good topics from you folks. So, again, at the end of the video, I like to try and ask a question. Today's question is, what major life change have you done recently? And again, it doesn't have to be within the last year. Could be in the last 5 years. Let me know in the comments section below. And till I see you again, have a great day.